Uh, am I audible to all of us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all of you completed with the Docker, right?
Yes, thanks.
So have you?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Okay, okay, that's great. So today we'll be going to see with the Kubernetes. Okay. So that will be the next topic for us. So let me share my screen. Let me check whether I uploaded the documents for that. Okay, so Kubernetes document is not uploaded. I am quickly uploading it. So this is the lab file of the Kubernetes. Okay. So here all of you are using Windows or how is it? So doing practical activity using Windows or some people are on Mac also. Okay, that's good. So see, if you want to use the Kubernetes, okay. So there are different ways to set up the Kubernetes lab in your system. Either you can set it up everything by alone, or you can take the help of the software like Minikube. Okay, we set up everything for you. So we are going to understand the Kubernetes with the help of the Minikube. Okay. So if you'll search here in the online like Minikube installation or something, okay, you'll get to know that Minikube requires at least 2 CPU, okay, and 2 CPU and 2 GB of free RAM. Okay, so if your system have this much configuration, then only you can do it. But if you remember in the AWS cloud, okay, uh, we get only T2.micro instance free, that is 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. Okay, so if we want to set up this Minikube everything on directly on the AWS, we have to pay charges. Okay, so for what that purpose, what we are going to do is we'll be setting up this Minikube directly on our laptop, so we don't have to pay to AWS. Okay. So to install this Minikube in your system, either you are using Windows or Mac. Okay. The first thing you have to do is you have to download this Oracle VM software. Okay. So in my system, if you'll see, this is the Oracle VirtualBox software is there. Okay. This one you have to download it. How you can download it? You can go to this URL basically. Okay. Open it. And you'll get the software. Simply download it for the Windows. macOS people can download for the macOS and simply install this software. This is the normal software which you can install. Okay. Once the VirtualBox is installed successfully in your system, okay, once the VirtualBox is installed and you are able to see this Oracle VirtualBox in your machine, like after going to the search box, you are searching for the Oracle and you are getting this, that means a software is installed successfully. Okay. Once the software is installed successfully, then again you have to visit this site. Okay. To follow how to download the Minikube everything. So just now I opened this site, right? Minikube start one. So what you have to do is here they are saying that to install with the Linux, Mac OS, right? We are going to install in the Windows, okay? And they are saying that if you want to download the .exe format, simply click on this latest release, okay? So you have to simply come here, click on latest release. In my case, file is already downloaded. In your case, the file will be first downloaded. Then you will be opening the software like this, okay? And you will click on yes, and they will ask you to install this like this. Okay, click next, agree, install. Okay, and this Minikube will be going to be installed like this. Once the Minikube is installed, how you can verify that whether Minikube is installed successfully or not? Okay, so you have to come down in this document. And this is the way for which how macOS people can do. You have to hit this command basically in the terminal to install the macro to install the Minikube. Okay. And this document is also written in the website itself. If you select macOS, you'll get that command here. Now you have to just open the CMD for the Windows people. Okay, you have to open the CMD for the macOS people. They have to open the terminal. Okay, and here you'll be writing the command Minikube. can you tell me the version which you installed? If you're getting some output, that means your Minikube is successfully installed. Okay, and you can proceed with the next step. So just make sure till now we've done the two things. The first thing is installation of Oracle VirtualBox. Second thing is installation of this Minikube. Okay. First, the Minikube is also installed, and Oracle VirtualBox is also installed. So then you have to hit this command. Why this command? So if you'll see here in this document, in the before here, they are saying that you'll require at least 2 CPU, 2 GB of RAM, 20 GB of free days internet connection, and you will require a virtual machine manager, either of one of this. Okay, so I am going to use the Oracle VirtualBox. So if you click on this VirtualBox here, so they are saying that if you are installing the Minikube with the help of the VirtualBox, okay, so you have to use this command. Minikube start -- driver is equal to VirtualBox. And sometimes what happens, maybe our laptop company does not allow us to run multiple operating system directly. So you can add this option -- no BTSJ in this command itself. That's why I written a single command, Minikube start -- driver VirtualBox and -- no BTSJ. Simply copy this and come here, open the CMD. Okay, Minikube is already installed, so simply you can hit this command. Okay, Minikube start -- driver is VirtualBox, no BTSJ. What will happen is whenever you will be hitting this command, currently you are seeing this Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, in this Oracle VirtualBox, currently there are two operating system. In my case, in your case, there will be no operating system will be visible here. Okay, so what you have to do is just a minute. So when I will hit this enter here, okay, you will see that here one more operating system is going to be installed. That will be the Minikube itself. Okay, so let's press enter. So see, they are saying that currently they are downloading the Minikube from the internet. It totally depends on your internet speed, how fastly it is going to download and set up. Okay, because we are using our local internet setup, local machine configuration, everything. Just remember that. So in my case, it is downloading currently. Now they are downloading the Kubernetes image. Again, it is also 385 MB something. Now see, they are saying you that we are creating a virtual box with two CPU, 4.5 GB of RAM and 20 GB of hard disk space like that. And from where they are taking all these resources, they are taking it from our local machine. And see here, this Minikube came here. This Minikube currently it is in the powered off state. They are configuring this. See, now they're starting it automatically. They are doing this. We don't have to worry about it. Okay, and here you'll see they assigned that 4500 MB RAM, 4.5 GB, 2 CPU, right? So exact same thing they're mentioning here also. So it will take time. It can take time around 5 minutes also, 10 minutes also. It totally depends your machine speed, what is the CPU you are using in your laptop, right? Or what is your network speed? It depends on so many factors. So you just have to wait. So let's wait for that. Meanwhile, everybody post your Docker images in the Docker hub, that custom one, or how is it? Okay, you posted. Okay, that's good. Why you joined round from so many devices? I think you are from the 3 devices. Okay. So see now after setting up, they are trying to pull some images also. So let's wait for that. See, they are setting up the Kubernetes 1.25 version on top of the Docker 20.10. So our Kubernetes is going to use Docker in the background, okay, to run the container everything. And Kubernetes is just a management tool. Okay, so Kubernetes just help you to manage the Docker container everything. If you say to the Kubernetes that Kubernetes I want to run 5 container, so Kubernetes will make sure that at any point of the time 5 containers should be running. Okay, if somehow that container is going to be deleted or something, Kubernetes will again start the new container. So these all things will be going to say. Now see, they are configuring everything. Now see, once you are seeing this option here, kubectl is now configured to use. Okay, that means your minikube is set up successfully. Okay, and from now on you can use the minikube. So to understand here, you can understand some command like minikube status. We'll do this command. So see, they are saying you control pane running configured. If you are seeing this type of the screen, that means your minikube is successfully running. Okay. Similarly, to stop the minikube, you have to simply do the command minikube stop. Okay. From now on, simply do minikube stop. This minikube is going to be stopped. Okay. Simply you have to do minikube start. Again, minikube will start. Okay. Like if I'm doing minikube stop, you'll see that they are stopping the node minikube. And after some time, we'll see it will be in the powered off state from here also. And whatever the command you written here, minikube start hyphen driver is equal to virtualbox or something. Okay, this is the only one-time process. From the next time, you have to simply say minikube. Can you show me the status currently? So they will say currently it is in the stopped state. So if I want to start, I will simply say minikube. Can you start again? Again, it will take time, but it will start eventually. So currently it is in the powered off state. Now see it is in the starting running state. And after a few seconds, we'll get the screen here also that minikube is started successfully. Meanwhile, it is a starting. Let's follow the document. Okay. So this command we done and we waited till this steps. Done kubectl is now configured. Once this is done, okay, then our kubectl everything is configured. Okay. Now there is one more step is remaining. Here you are seeing before done there is a command called kubectl not found. Okay. So kubectl or kubectl whatever you want to say is a command basically which helps us to interact with the Kubernetes. Okay, so if you want to interact with the Kubernetes cluster, you have to use this command. Currently, this command is not available. So what we have to do is we have to manually download this command. Okay, so to download this manually, this command, okay, you have to go to this website to install Kubernetes. I will show you. Let's just wait to be started. Okay, so again, see that kubectl is not found. So now the problem is everything is set up. Okay, but if I will try to interact, that there is a command called kubectl get pods. What they will say is that kubectl is not recognized as internal or external command. That means we cannot use the kubectl command for now. So to use the kubectl commands, you have to simply open this, click on open. Just give me a second. Okay. So to install the kubectl, what you have to do is so simply click on this latest release. Okay, and they are going to download this kubectl software. Simply download it. And now click on open folder. Okay, open the location wherever you downloaded. Simply copy this file. Okay, simply copy this file. Then what you have to do is you have to go to the C drive. Okay, in the C drive, go to the user section. Whatever the username of your laptop is, go inside that. In this location, you will see that there is a .minikube folder will be created. Once when you installing the minikube software, that time this minikube folder will be created. Simply go inside this, and in this location, you have to simply paste that kubectl file. Okay. So in my case, currently it is downloaded with the _4. In your case, it will be downloaded only with the kubectl itself. I downloaded so many times, that's why it is going give the numbering itself. So I'm renaming it. Okay. And I just have to give the name something like this. Only kubectl we have to give it, that's all. Now, once this software is available, then you have to open here environment variable. Just search for the environment variable. Okay, like this, and click on enter. Now click on this environment variable option. Come down, click here the path option. Okay, click on edit. Here, in my case, it is already there. Okay, roykey.minikube. So in your case, if this line will be not there, what you have to do is simply you have to click on new. Okay, a new line will be added. Okay, and in this new line, what you have to do is you have to copy this entire location. See users roykey minikube. After clicking on this and copy this location, and you have to paste it here like this way. See users roykey minikube. Once you will do this, simply click on OK, OK, and click on apply and OK like this way. Okay, so that screenshot is already there. Okay, how to do it? Simply you have to copy the kubectl here. Then you have to go to the environment variable. Select this environment variable. Click on path. Okay. Click on new and here add that exact same thing. Okay. Just copy the location. And once you'll do this and you'll come to this CMD. Previously it was saying that kubectl get pods not found. Now if you do, so see they are not giving you error that it is not recognized or something. They're giving you some output. Okay. That means now kubectl is working perfectly fine. Okay. So this work is also completed. Now once you've done till this, okay, and after hitting this command, you are getting some answer like to no resources found in default namespace. That means your minikube and entire Kubernetes cluster set up perfectly fine. Okay. Now, to see the user interface, something like this, if you want to see the user interface of your minikube, simply what you have to do is you have to hit the command here, minikube. Can you open the dashboard? Press enter. So automatically, they are going to open your browser. Okay. And they will open a new tab in which minikube dashboard will be going to launch. So let's wait for that.
Sir, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we have to install, it is a local system, Windows-based system. Is it right? It is not in CLI, command line interface.
Yeah, it is on the Windows local laptop.
Windows means it is the purpose of just like Docker, Minikube and Kubernetes. It is used for, it is using for.
Come again?
Actually, it is exact purpose, sir. I was unable to get that. What is the use of installing Minikube and Kubernetes?
Minikube is a software basically which provides you the entire Kubernetes cluster by default setup. Okay.
Okay.
So Kubernetes setup is a hectic job. Okay. So Minikube and there are so many other software also available in the market which help you to set up the entire Kubernetes cluster with the help of this. Okay.
It is using for only for that images purpose only. What is that?
Not for the images purpose. Minikube is a software which is giving you this Kubernetes cluster. Okay. And this Kubernetes cluster is going to use that images everything to manage the Docker container. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
So see this type of the when you will write the Minikube dashboard, okay, automatically this browser will open, okay, by default browser, and they will open this. Here you are saying that there is no resources currently, nothing is there, nothing pods, replicas, nothing is there. What is all about this? We are going to discuss some of the parts here. So currently there is nothing resources, no resources there. Okay. So now if you'll see here, currently it is open here. So I cannot type any other command in this command prompt now. Okay. If you'll type any other command, if you want to do, you have to do here Control C. Once you do Control C, now this page become unresponsive. You are not going to use this page. Okay. So if you want to make sure that this page I should be able to use every time. Okay. So what you have to do is whenever you will require, simply close this now. Okay, and again come here and simply write the command minikube dashboard again. Okay, so until and unless that this command is running here, okay, minikube dashboard, that time only you can access this entire page. Okay, so always try to do is hit open a cmd, open the minikube dashboard like this way, and keep it running. Don't do Control C or something here. Okay, so here you will be able to see entire thing, and whenever you want to stop, then only do the Control C. And again, you want to write some extra command in the command prompt, simply do go here and open one more extra tab of the command prompt and write there whatever you want to do. And this one, let it be open only. Okay. Now we are going to understand some basics commands of the Kubernetes. Okay. So the basic thing in the Docker, what we were doing was to create a container. Okay. So anybody remember the command which we were using to run a container in the Docker? Anybody? That what was the command we are using to start a container in the Docker? It was started with the Docker, right? Docker and Docker run -it. Okay. Docker run -it. Then image name, right? So if you'll see here, let me close this. Open the Docker. I think this one was the image which we pushed in there, right? In your class, Rocky Network Server Cloud 9. So this is the image only we are going to use. So we'll simply copy this. And mostly we're using this Docker run -it and this thing. Okay, in case of the Docker. Similarly, in the Kubernetes, what you have to use it, you have to say that kubectl, I want to run. Okay, I want to run. Okay, and basically in the Docker, we have the basic unit as a container, but Kubernetes does not understand what is container or something. Okay, so Kubernetes know the basic unit as a pod only, and inside pod, by default, a container is running. So you can think like a pod is just like a box. Okay, inside that box, there is a container running. Okay, so whatever that you want to do, like you want to stop the containers, you have to simply say to the Kubernetes, please stop the pod. Whenever you say to stop the pod, automatically the container is also going to stop. If you say you want to say that can you start the container, simply say Kubernetes, you have to start the pod. So automatically Kubernetes will start the container. So Kubernetes always understands the pod level only, not at the container level. So just try to understand. So you have to simply say kubectl, you have to run. Okay, by default, they will run the pod only. Now you can give your pod name. Take an example, I am giving my pod name as my pod only. And giving the image name something like this one, whatever the image name we done, Rocky/web-server-cloud. If this is the correct command, so Kubernetes is going to start a pod, okay, with this image. That's all. So simply copy this command come here. This is the exact same command, run whatever the pod name you want to give, -- image equal to, and then you have to mention your image. In our case, currently, the image which we uploaded in our last classes to the Docker Hub, this was there. Okay, so this one image which we are going to use. So I'm coming here, and here I'm just pasting that command, kubectl. You have to run a pod. Pod name is this one. Okay, and this is the image. Press enter. Now see, they are saying that your pod with the name mypod created. If I say kubectl, can you show me the list of pods currently? So they are saying that currently one pod is there with the name mypod. Okay, and it is in the container creating state. That means currently it is creating. Why it is taking time? Because they have to first download this image from the internet, right? Then they will try to start it. It will take some time. Meanwhile, we can come to the dashboard. See here, this a pod started to come. Previously, nothing was there. And see, my pod name is coming with this image Roy Kishan Network Server Cloud 19, 32 seconds ago we done. Currently, it is in the container creating state. If I'll go in the pod section, you'll see that currently my pod is in the container creating stage only. That's why it is in the orange color. If I'll click on this my pod, you'll see that they are saying that currently I got a work to start a pod, and for that I require a image. That's why I'm pulling the image from the internet. Again, it totally depends on our internet speed, how fast they can pull the image. Okay. And see, once they pull the image, they say that successfully pulled the image in 55 seconds. Then they started the container, and then they created the container also. So they are creating the container only, right? They are starting the container only. But Kubernetes is going to manage everything at the pod level. Okay, Kubernetes does not understand what is container. Now if you'll come to this pod again see now it's becoming green color. That means your pod is running. Okay, and again from the command also you will write again kubectl, can you get me the list of the pods? So they are saying that one pod is running with the name mypod, and currently it is in the running state. That means it started 91 seconds ago. Similarly, if somebody want the detailed information of this pod, you can simply say kubectl. What you have to do is you have to describe pod. Okay, and what is my pod name? My pod name is mypod. So kubectl, you have to describe the pod mypod. That's all. See, they are providing you some information here. They are providing that your pod name is mypod. Currently, it is in the namespace default. Labels is run is equal to mypod. Okay. Similarly, IP address. This is your IP address of your pod. Similarly, your pod container name is this one, mypod itself. Okay. And your container got started with this image name. So that also they are mentioning. This image we downloaded directly from the Docker. So that's why they are directly showing it. Okay. When we started at during this time. Okay, like this way they are providing you so many details here. Okay, and what are the events they done? So basically they successfully assigned a task to start the mypod. Then they pulled the image from the internet, right? Web server cloud 19. Once after successfully pulled the image, they created the container, and then they started the container. Like this way they did. So whenever you will hit the command kubectl describe, and I want to describe the pod, and my pod name is mypod, this output is going to come. Now similarly, if you'll come down, if somebody want to delete this pod again, so simply you have to say kubectl. First, let me show the pods list. So this is the pod. Currently, my pod is running. Okay. Now, if you are saying that kubectl, can you delete the pod? Can you delete the pod? And pod name is my pod that I want to delete. I will simply press enter and say this my pod is getting deleted. Now, if I'll do again get pods, so no resources found in default namespace. Pod is deleted. Even you can verify from here. See, there is nothing to display here. Pod is gone. Now again, if somebody want to start the pod, they will simply hit this command kubectl. You have to run a pod. Okay, and take an example. This time I'm giving the pod name as my test pod, something like this. Okay, run my test pod -- image, and image is equal to this. Just give me a second. I'm just deleting the previous pod. Image, we are always going to use this one only for now. But you can use Ubuntu image also, CentOS image also, is totally on you. However, you are using the Docker, exact same way you can use it this one also. Simply press enter. And see again the pod is started. This time the pod name is my test pod. Kubectl get pods. Again, this pod is getting container creating state. And since we again started, so automatically see here you are able to see that it is in the container creating state. And see this time this pod started very soon. Why? Because this time they don't have to download this image again from the internet. Okay, because this image is now locally available, so directly they started it. Okay, and we saw that this container or this pod is started now. Again, once the pod get started, if you simply do kubectl get pods, it will be saying status is equal to running. That means pod is running. But now the problem is in the starting, I said you that Kubernetes is a management tool. Okay. And I said you that if you say to the Kubernetes that Kubernetes, I want to launch 5 containers. Okay. So Kubernetes will make sure that at any point of the time that 5 containers will be running. Okay. But here the problem is if somebody is deleting this pod, like from here also I can delete the pod, or either you can write the command kubectl delete pod like this way also. Okay, so see they are also telling that whenever you are deleting this, they will hit the command kubectl delete pod and pod name. So simply click on delete. This pod is getting deleted. Okay, so see it is in the terminating state, and after a few seconds you will see it is gone. Pod is gone. But what we want to achieve is if somehow this pod is going to delete, Kubernetes should automatically start a new pod. Okay. That is our final goal. Then only Kubernetes will be act as a manager here, right? Because if I'm saying to the Kubernetes, you have to make sure at any point of the time there should be 5 pods should be running. So in 5 pod, if 3 pod going to be crash or it is going to be deleted or something, so Kubernetes will make sure that 3 more new pod is going to be started again. Okay. So to achieve this type of the things, Kubernetes say that I don't know how to do it directly at the pod level, but we have a resources called deployment. Okay? We have a resources called deployment. If you'll create a deployment, then what I will do is I will create a pod also automatically. And now from now on, if somebody is going to delete the pod, I will create the new pod. So it will be something like this. So currently we are managing the pod previously. Okay. Now we are saying to the Kubernetes that Kubernetes, I want to create a deployment. So this deployment is automatically going to create a pod. Okay. And now this deployment is going to act as a manager for the pod. So if I say to the deployment, that deployment, you have to make sure one pod should always be running. Okay. Now from now on, if somebody is deleting this pod, deployment is automatically going to start one more pod. Okay. So let me show you this example, then you can correlate. So simply you have to say here simply you have to say kubectl. Okay, you have to create a deployment, not the pod. You have to create a deployment, and let's give the deployment name as something MyD or something. You can give whatever the name you want to. Okay, so kubectl, you have to create a deployment. Deployment name is MyD, and what you have to do is you have to take this image. Image is let me match quickly. Is this the correct image or not? Okay, so kubectl, you have to create a deployment. Okay, and this deployment name will be MyD, and you have to use this image. If I'll press enter, automatically say they are saying that a deployment is created with the name MyD. So if I'll say kubectl, have you created the deployment? So kubectl get deployments. They are saying yes, we created a deployment. Okay, one by one. So by default, they created only one pod. How you can verify? Simply say kubectl get pods. So this deployment created this pod. I did not give any name, something like this, right? When I was creating the pod or something. This pod automatically got created when we created this deployment. By default, this deployment created one pod and this is running now. Now, if somebody will delete this pod like kubectl, can you delete this pod and pod name is this one. So simply copy this pod name and simply say here that Kubernetes, can you delete this pod? If I delete this pod, now see what will happen. I'm deleting this pod with the name m2gw. Okay. And once it will be deleted, and if I'll do again git pod, so see again one more container got started, new pod got started. That means from now on, anybody is going to delete this pod or somehow this pod is automatically going to crash, automatically a new pod is going to start. Okay. And you can see this visualization from the dashboard clearly. See this pod got started currently. if take an example, someone is deleting this pod, delete it, automatically a new pod is going to be created. Okay, so just try to focus on it. See, again, the container creating state 6 seconds ago, one more pod started. And after few, again, it's become running. So from now on, anybody is going to delete this. Like again, I will delete this. Automatically, you'll see that one more new pod is going to be started automatically. See, one is going to be started 3 seconds ago. And after some time, see, again, it becomes running also. So this deployment is making sure that one pod should always be running. We created a deployment with the name MyD, and I said that you have to launch a pod with this image. So they are making sure that at every point of the time now, this pod is keep running. No, this is not called CI/CD. CI/CD I will tell you later part. Okay, CI/CD is totally different. Is this you are able to understand what is the work of the deployment here? This deployment work is clear to you? Everybody? Okay. Now see again, so now the problem is solved, right? Previously, whenever we are using the Docker, and if some container is going to be deleted or crash, right? So we as a human being, we have to manually do it, right? Now just try to think like, just give me a second. So just try to think like you are sleeping in midnight or something, okay, and suddenly this pod going to be deleted or this pod got crashed due to overload or something, right? So now we don't have to worry about it's totally the headache of the deployment. Deployment is going to start this pod again. Okay, so your problem is now solved. Now, not only this, we can say to the Kubernetes, right? Like take an example. Previously, only one pod is currently running. Okay, so let me show you what we done till now. We first created a deployment, and deployment either you can write get deployments or either you can write get deploy also. Both are exact same. Okay, either you can write kubectl get deployments or get deploy, both are same. So only one deployment is running, in which one by one means currently one pod is running. Okay, and simply saying kubectl, can you show me the list of pods? They're saying only one pod is running. If somebody is deleting this pod, automatically this deployment is going to create one more pod, new pod. Okay. Now, if I'll say that currently there is only one pod is running, and now this one pod is not able to handle the traffic, everything. Okay. So do you remember the concept of load balancer, everybody? In which we launched 2 to 3 EC2 instances in the AWS by creating our custom image of web server, and then we transfer the traffic to 2 to 3 different machines. Everybody remember that? Load balancer, is it, remember everybody? Classic load balancer, network load balancer. Yes or no? Why? Why load balancer you don't remember now? We already completed all this, right? Have you all not completed the practical of AWS till now? At least try say yes or no. Have you not completed the AWS practical, everybody? Then you should say, right, that you know the load balancer, because load balancer we already done, right? Classic load balancer, network load balancer, application load balancer, everything is done. If not, try to revise it. Everything is basically correlated with each other. Okay, so if you don't do the practical, then here you will miss something. Okay. So currently one pod is running. Now this one pod is not able to handle the traffic, okay, of 1,000 people or 10,000 people. So we can simply say kubectl, okay, what you have to do is you have to scale. Okay, you have to scale. What you have to scale? You don't have to scale the pod. You have to scale the deployment always. Okay, because deployment is going to manage the pod. Okay, so we'll say kubectl. You have to scale the deployment. Okay, because we are not directly going to communicate with the pod because pod is getting managed by the deployment. So whatever I want to do with the pod, I will simply say to the deployment itself. Kubectl, you have to scale the deployment to the replicas. Let me give the replica number something like this 4. Okay, so what this deployment will do is now deployment will launch 4 replica of pod. Okay, currently only 1 pod is running. Now they will launch the 4. And one thing is missing. I did not given the deployment name. So how they will get to know that which deployment I have to scale. So my deployment name is myD that I have to mention. Kubectl, you have to scale the deployment. Deployment name is myD, and replicas you have to do is equal to 4. That's all. Now it is scaled. If I do kubectl get deploy, so you'll see that 1 by 4 is currently ready. We started about the 4 pods. Currently 1 pod is running. Okay, and after a few seconds you'll see that 4 by 4 pod is running. Here also you can see now there are 4 pods are running. How this 4 pod got started from the deployment section. This deployment is making sure that at any point of the time 4 pods is going to be running. And this whatever the customer is coming to visit, right? They are coming to visit and their traffic will be distributed to this 4 machine. And if somehow any of the pod is going to be deleted or something, again the deployment will make sure that one more new pod is going to be started. See, automatically this one got started because this one is getting terminated. Okay, and at any point of the time 4 pod is going to be run now. Okay, even if we'll delete this also, so you'll see that automatically one more new is going to be created. Okay, so one more is started. So now this way you can do it. Similarly, if you want to scale the replicas, take an example, kubectl, you have to scale the deployment. You have to scale the deployment to the replicas number 10. That also you can do. Now the 10 pod will be going to run. See, automatically a few more started. 4 was already there. 6 more again started. And after a few seconds, you'll see everything is going to be running. So now your traffic is going to be distributed to 10 different machines. So in Docker, we have to always write the commands, right? To launch the multiple container, we have to expose it to different port, 8081, 8082, 8083, like that way. But here you are able to see that everything is getting scaled up in a single group. And see all the 10 ports are now running. Similarly, you can scale down from here also. You can simply come here in the deployment section and you can say that I want to scale replicas. And currently it is 10. I want to scale to only 5 number. Now that much traffic is not coming. So that also you can do. So extra 5 will be going to be terminated and only 5 will be there. So if you'll see in this pod section now, so see 5 are getting terminated and at last you will be seeing only 5 will be visible. See, only 5 are visible like this. So this is the way by which your deployment is going to manage the pods everything. You can scale the pod also. Now, how to see the website in the Docker? We are able to see the website, that web server page, whatever we created, right? So to see the website, you have to use the load balancer concept here also. Okay, in the Kubernetes also we have the load balancer, like in the AWS we had. Okay, so basically load balancer work was that they gives us a URL. That URL you hit it in the browser. So when you hit the URL in the browser, they will transfer the traffic to the EC2 instances. So similarly here also, Kubernetes load balancer will provide you a URL. That URL you will hit in the browser. They will transfer the traffic to the multiple pods running. Okay. So simply you have to say that kubectl here. Let me show me anything about the service. Okay, so you can write kubectl get services. Okay, so see currently one services is running. So in AWS we see it as a load balancer. In Kubernetes we see it as a services only. Okay, so we are going to create a service. So you have to simply say kubectl. What you have to do is you have to expose. Okay, what you have to expose? You have to expose the deployment. Because once they will expose the deployment, then only the customer will be able to see the website, right? You have to expose to the outer world. Simply you have to say kubectl, you have to expose the deployment. And my deployment name was myD. Okay, and kubectl, you have to expose the deployment. Deployment name is myD. And our website was running on port 80. Hope you remember everybody. Okay, so that you have to also mention that you have to expose the port 80 and type. Here they are asking for the type. Here is the type is written. Type is cluster IP here. So there are three types here: cluster IP, node port, load balancer. Okay, so whenever you are doing the practical on your Windows machine, everyone, like in your local laptop, so you have to use the type is equal to node port. Okay, if you are using it on top of the cloud something, you have to use the type is equal to load balancer. Okay, and if you don't want to expose that outer person will be able to see our website or something, you can go with the type is equal to cluster IP. So we are going with the type is equal to node port. Give the capital N, capital P. Okay, so kubectl, you have to expose the deployment. Deployment name is MID. Expose the port 80 and type is equal to node port. Just press enter. You will see that automatically a new service is got created with the name MID. Type is equal to node port. And they say that whatever your website is running on the port 80, that we expose to the 31953 port automatically. Okay. Now you will say that Minikube, I exposed a port, okay, something like this. So Minikube, you have to give me the URL for a service. My service name is MID. You're seeing kubectl get services, service name is MID. So Minikube, there is a service with the name MID. Can you give me the URL for this? So they will give you a URL. If you hit this URL in the browser, you'll be able to see the website of our Docker container, everything. So simply paste it here. So see, you are seeing this website 172.17.0.9. From where this website is coming? 172.17.09. If you come here and you'll try to find the IP address of any of the machine. So this is the 17.0.8. This one is 0.5. Let me check. This is 0.9. So basically they are transferring the traffic to this pod currently. Okay. Now if somebody will again hit that URL here. So previously it was showing the 0.9. Now if we'll hit it, enter again. This time we'll be able to see something different. Again, it is showing 0.9 only. Let me open a private tab or something. Then I can show you different. Because in the browser, we have the cache there. So by default, they directly can see 0.8. So basically, whatever the things we are solving with the help of the load balancer, right? What load balancer was doing? Every time you are refreshing the page, it was transferring the traffic to the different EC2 instances. Everybody remember that? What was the actual work of the load balancer? It was transferring the traffic or distributing the traffic, right? Everybody? So exact same thing. This is also doing, right? If I'll refresh this page, currently it is 0.8. If I'll refresh this page, see 0.6 is coming. That means this traffic is getting distributed. And how this traffic is getting distributed? Because currently we have 5 pods are running. Okay, 5 pods are running here. So the traffic is getting distributed to 5 machines. Now, if I'll say that deployment, can you just scale to only 1 pod? I don't want to scale 5 pod or something. I just want only 1 pod. I'll press enter. And automatically you'll say that from now on, only 1 pod they are going to show it. So all are terminating, only this one will be going to run. So let first everything is there. Now see, only this pod is there. Now what is the IP of this pod? 17.0.8. So if somebody will refresh this page, now only 0.8 will be visible. Even if you keep refreshing this page, 0.8 is going to be visible because now only 1 pod is running. So if there are 10 people are coming to our website, everybody is going to connect to the same pod. Similarly, let me show you from here also. See, it is only showing the 0.8. Again, if somebody will scale this pod like this way, again to scale, either you can do with the command, okay, or you can do it from here. So let me show it from the command also. Simply you have to say kubectl. You have to scale the deployment, and deployment name is MID. Okay, and you have to scale to the replicas is equal to 4. That's all. Now 4 pod is going to be started, and you can verify it from here in the pod section. Now 4 pod is getting started, and once all the 4 pod is going to be started, automatically you'll see that other IP address will be also going to be visible on our website when I'll refresh this page. So now see, 2 are active, 2 are still in the process. Now all 4 are active. Now if you'll try to just refresh this page, so currently it is on 0.8. Let me open it in the private window or something. So say 0.7. So like this way they will keep doing. So number of pods is acting as a number of EC2 instances here. Okay. And you can scale up quickly, you can scale down quickly. That is the benefits of the Kubernetes. Even if in the midnight, if some pod is getting deleted, it's totally headache of now the Kubernetes to restart the pod everything. Okay. And once your practical will be done, simply what you have to do is you have to come here and you have to say that minikube, I want to stop you. You can stop this minikube. And this minikube will be stopped. So entire Kubernetes cluster, whatever you created, everything is going to be stopped. Okay. And again, tomorrow we'll be seeing some more commands about the minikube. So don't worry about it. I've just given you a quick overview today. Okay. So let's skip up to here. Tomorrow we'll continue further. Okay. Try to revise the concept if previous topic is remaining for you in the Docker. Thanks all of you.